Today's video, I will be reacting to this conversation between Mehdi Hasan and Piers Morgan. What Piers Morgan said to Mehdi Hasan was so outrageous. Take a listen to what he is saying here.
I don't.
Well,
genocide is the complete.
Put genocide to one side, whether we agree or not on genocide, and it is genocidal.
It's not genocide.
You just said they're your ally of the West. Why is that relevant?
I think it's important that you support.
So if you're an
allies.
ally of the West, you get to kill kids.
No, you get.
So why is it relevant?
You support.
You're making my point for me, Piers. I'm consistent. I don't care whether you're an ally of the West or an enemy of the West.
Fine.
I care about what you do.
Yes.
And Russia and Israel both committing war crimes, both saying genocidal
Yes,
stuff.
but Mehdi, here's my point. You are so blindly anti-Israel that you frame everything.
I could say the same thing to you about Russia.
I mean, can you believe this? He's accusing Mehdi Hasan of being anti-Israel. Like, he just fell a little short of calling Mehdi Hasan anti-Semite. I mean, pretty much that's what he meant anyways. But this is so outrageous. Piers Morgan, who is this pro-Zionist, pro-genocidal mouthpiece, all of a sudden labeling other people as such doesn't really befit his character, his personality, because he is a duplicitous person who is very, very dishonest, who label other people all the time. But now it is time for us to really call him out and label him as pro-genocidal maniac.
I'm very blindly against Russia.
Okay, then so again, so you're inconsistent. I'm consistent. I'm blindly anti-occupying Russia that occupies Ukraine, and I'm blindly anti an Israel that occupies Gaza. By the way, another area I'm consistent is I do think both wars need to come to an end, and they're going to come to an end through some sort of negotiation. I don't believe in prolonged conflict. I don't know. I'm not a negotiator.
What's
but I don't believe there's a military solution to either conflict.
Give me the solution.
I don't have one. Do you have a military solution? I don't think there is one.
We can't possibly give Putin what he's taken.
No, I agree.
So how do you do it?
I don't know. But I don't think the military continuing helps. I mean, how do you win militarily? I don't know how that works.
Would you said that in World War II?
What do you mean?
When the Nazis were trying to take over the world?
No, there was a plausible plan to win, wasn't there, when the US came in?
Just to fight them.
And there were no nuclear weapons back then, Piers, as you know.
Piers Morgan is asking Mehdi Hasan how to end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, when here clearly Mehdi Hasan is saying, and he's emphasizing his stance on this occupation force, i.e. in this case Russia, as Piers Morgan is alluding to. But Mehdi Hasan is not there to give you a solution, military solution of how to end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. He's there to make a point, and that is that this occupation, whether it is done by Russia, Ukraine, or Israel, must come to an end. I mean, this guy, Piers Morgan, his journalism is really so pathetic.
No.
Okay, but you just think Putin would ever use them?
Do you not think he would?
No. Why would he? He's not an Islamic fundamentalist who wants to blow himself up.
Oh, that's a very racist thing to say.
It's not.
You're saying only Muslims want to use nuclear weapons?
No, I said
what?
Islamic.
Why would Putin not want to use?
I didn't say Muslim. I said Islamic fundamentalist.
Why is it Islamic fundamentalist?
Because Islamic fundamentalists kill themselves to get what they want.
But they haven't used nukes. The only people who've used nukes in history are the United States of America.
You're missing my point deliberately, and you're playing.
No, because I just find
you're playing the race card.
I mean, this guy is such a racist. Like, after accusing Mehdi Hasan of being anti-Semite almost, after asking him all kind of nonsense, stupid question, and he's not even an expert in military solution, military conflict. He asked him a question to give him a solution for this military conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which he should not be asking about. And now he is coming out as a complete racist. Piers Morgan is coming out as a complete racist by trying to label any resistance by the Muslim organization or Muslim world or entities like Hamas as terrorism. And this is exclusive to the Muslims, because the Muslim, they have no right to defend themselves, because if they do, then they're considered as terrorists. I mean, this is the label of racism this guy has brainwashed himself with.
Stupidly.
You're playing weird asides, Piers. You're bringing in Western allies.
I'm answering your question about whether I thought Russia would use nukes. No, because
but the only people who would are Islamic fundamentalists.
They do not behave.
Western
he does not think like an Islamic fundamentalist, where they will kill themselves to get their goals.
You know, the United States of America used a nuclear weapon, Piers, right? They're not Islamic fundamentalists.
You're missing my point. The point is, Islamic fundamentalists will kill themselves in the process of destroying others. Russia does not want to do that. Vladimir Putin doesn't want to kill himself.
Fair point.
Right? So my point about the nuclear threats, which he does all the time, is he takes what should be a deterrent. Look, we shouldn't have nuclear weapons, right? Period. But we do. Russia has 6,000.
As does Israel.
Russia has 6. I'm sure they do. And I put that question to Netanyahu, and he fudged it. But I'm sure, of course, they do. Right? But the point is, I don't think that the mindset of someone like Vladimir Putin is to start a war where he gets instantly vaporized. It makes no sense to me. So I think he uses it as a threat, and a lot of people in the West go like this and go, oh my God, we can't do anything. We must let him continue what he's doing because he might nuke us. And I think he's been doing this now for years, and we've got to stand up to him because he's never going to use nuclear weapons, because he knows the moment he does, Russia and him are dead. And he doesn't think in the way that Al-Qaeda or ISIS or one of these groups do, where they don't mind dying in big numbers to blow things up.
It's a very fair argument. I respect that argument.
That's my point.
That's a fair argument. I respect that argument. I'm saying I'm not willing to take that risk. I would like to see the Ukraine conflict come to an end.
So would I.
In Ukraine's favour.
Yeah, but how?
I don't know. I'm not pretending to know the solution.
With respect.
I think Mehdi Hasan intentionally backed down on the accusation of Piers Morgan being the racist. I think that he did that on purpose. Otherwise, Mehdi Hasan will be called, oh, you called Piers Morgan racist. How could you go back to his show? Because he did appear in Piers Morgan shows subsequently. Therefore, it is not befitting for Mehdi Hasan to call Piers Morgan as racist and dismiss him. But I do find it to be very, very racist when he calls out the Muslims as the terrorists because they stand up to fight, regardless of how you do this. I mean, if you are defending yourself by blowing yourself up, that's one way of doing this, and this is what has been practiced by the Western terrorist organizations too, even though these are not legitimate, and nobody should be doing this. Nobody should go and blow up themselves in order to make a point, because that's just not right. That's morally not right. But then he's trying to portray that this kind of acts, blowing up oneself, is exclusive to the Muslims, which is absolutely pathetic of Piers Morgan saying that. But then, as you can see, Mehdi Hasan, he backed down from his claim that Piers Morgan is being a racist.
I do respect you. With respect, simply saying, I just want peace and harmony.
You don't have a solution to Ukraine either.
I do.
What is it?
Support them.
That's not a solution.
No, it is.
No, it is. What's the end goal?
You give them the tools that they're asking for to repel Russia long enough that Russia goes, all right, enough.
And nobody agrees that Russia's going to give up Crimea. No one's ever going to agree.
I didn't say Crimea.
That's part of Ukraine. You said don't give up any Ukrainian territory.
Crimea, to me, has already been sorted. I'm talking about I don't think anything they can do about
that. Good. Well, we agree
right?
on that then.
But I do think that the area of the Donbass...
Yes. But they've been annexed as well, unfortunately.
They should not be allowed to take that as well. If they do, they'll never stop.
I agree with you. I don't think they should be allowed to take it, but I don't see a military solution. But I'm not a military expert. But the people I read say there's no way the Russians...
What do you think is the solution in the Middle East with Israel? I get the argument, give up occupation. Okay.
Yes.
All right. On that we agree. Okay? But Israel will only do that, and this has the vast support of their people. They'll only do this if they feel that they can get security out of the situation. They'll only allow a two-state solution. I mean, do you believe in a two-state solution?
I don't believe in any solutions, Ron. I don't talk about one state, two states, three states, because all of it is nonsense. All of it is pie in the sky. None of it's happening. My position is I want equality for Palestinians and Israelis, Jews, Muslims, Christians living in that part of the world.
Exactly the same human rights for all.
Exactly.
On that, I agree with you.
I don't care about the structures. I don't care what the name of the place is, what the government looks like. I want equality between the river and the sea, to use a phrase, for everyone living in that patch of land. No one's leaving. I don't believe any of those people are going anywhere. They're all staying. They all have to live side by side as equals. I'm a Democrat, small d Democrat. I believe it should be a democracy. But fundamentally, right now, I'm only concerned about one thing: stop the killing, stop the genocide.
Do you agree that Hamas...
Okay, so Piers Morgan's next question was, so you believe that Israel is going to be safe if we stop this occupation? Like, Piers Morgan, his whole argument is revolving around just one thing, and that is Israel doesn't feel safe, therefore they have to commit this genocide, therefore they have to kill people, and that should be okay because they don't feel safe. They are terrified, they're scared living side by side with the people of Gaza. That's really his argument is all about here. I mean, this is so pathetic and unbelievable. But we now know that Piers Morgan, his points, his argument, they collapsed. These days he's siding with the Palestinians a lot of the time. He's calling out the Zionists, the Israeli ambassadors. He brings them on his show, and he questioned them about this tragedy, this genocide in Gaza. But I do believe that it is already too late. We have seen how Piers Morgan in the past repeatedly said over and over again that Israel should come first. Their protection, their security is paramount to anybody else's life or to a genocide. That's pretty much what he puppeted throughout his career on YouTube through his channel. Unbelievable, but very, very interesting at the same time. Subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one.